Okay, so then, furthermore, on the saga of this here protection-coated simmering cider scented candle, we love a scented candle, and, you know, I'm tired of pretending otherwise. Candles are candles, y'all, okay? Make do with what you have. I'm living in a small mountain town, although we're putting in a little order from some of our OG suppliers from back in the day. We got some new stuff brewing, y'all. Anyways, so on top of, you know, I noticed my surroundings so much that, and I've coded my entire reality to reflect magic and to be magic, and I live magic 24/7. This is not something that I do when the camera's rolling, or when people are observing me, or, you know, like when the clock's ticking and I'm getting paid for it, or, you know, whatever, right? This is just how I've lived for the last decade plus of my life. So on top of, like, and I lit this at like 2 a.m. because the vibes were kind of weird, and I remembered I bought scented candles yesterday. I was like, ooh, scented candle. I was really excited. I was up. Were you up last night? What's today? The 15th?
Monday. Yeah, the 15th.
Yeah, so if you were up overnight between September 14th and September 15th, 2025, just tell me in the comments below, because we were up doing a bunch of shit. Michael was passed out. I mean, like, we collectively, like me and my witches, we were up. I've gotten reports. Everybody was up doing stuff. There were some shenanigans afoot interdimensionally on the magical planes of existence, and we were taking care of that. But that brings me to my next point. So on top of this, which I detail a little bit more in part 1, you can see that on my feed, Michael had this really weird, like, very violent dream last night, right before he woke up, that was like, he was like telling me about it, and it was just like a bunch of random, like, people, like, trying to harm him, like, that are never gonna try to harm him, I'm gonna be honest, right? But it had this, like, weird, like, almost like monster characteristic to it. Well, the strange thing about it is that the entire time he was telling me about this dream this morning, while he was, like, making coffee and stuff, I was thinking about a dream that I had not long before. I want to say it was right around 4 years ago, because it was in 2021. It was not too long before I left Texas, and it was like, if you've ever heard me talk about the dream that I had, where I was, like, just trying to get, like, a slice of pizza in this, like, restaurant, and then these guys came after me, and I was like, I'll just slice and dice you then, and then I just went back to eating the pizza, right? I told some of my clients about that back then. It was so funny. It was, like, a very involved dream. I remember I had, like, a full day of calls after that dream too, and so everybody just would hear about my wild dreams in my client calls. You know, people would be like, how are you? And I'd be like, bro, I'm mad fucked up. I had this crazy dream. Here, I'm gonna finish my story in the next video.